Good morning, everybody. Long time no see. Stay in our YouTube studio. We have and a very interesting stuff, which will be covered with my today's video. So today's um episode of review will be talking about the very interesting stuff that called After Love episode. So, if you have never had the displeasure of being in a room with a band where nothing is quite working, it's hard to articulate just how deeply uncomfortable situation it is. Friends attempt to collaborate to create something beautiful only to continually cut each other in the thorns of the another's opinion, egos, and passions. It's the social equivalent of a broken clutch stopping you from shifting gears and extruding to the witness. That is why After Love EP is about. The game follows Rama, the guitar, vocal, and lyrics of Jakarta-based band Sigmund Freud. The game prologue shows us a run-up to a gig as Rama and his two best friends, Edith and Tasya, hang out with the Rama's girlfriend Sinta, who suffers from an unnamed chronic condition. And after the successful show, Sinta peels off, still dealing with the bouts of coughing, and their three band members to go out for the drinks. When Rama gets home, he decides to get some music of its own head and work a new song, all the time while missing calls and texts from Sinta. By the time he noticed it, it's too late. The game picks up a year after Sinta's death, with Rama finally trying to put himself back into the world. However, he still hears Sintra. She talks to him. Well, only one of two voices character in the game, one of the other characters only get VO in a single scene, and he talks back. So the Senta running commentary and Ramos' responses give a glimpse into his head, and it quickly becomes that he has decided it's time to get back to living, not because he has actually dealt with his grief, but because he feels like he should have gotten over it after a year. From here, we spent a month in Ramashus, September 1st to 30th, 2017 to be exact, trying to reconnect with friends, were shut out, restart the band after a year-long hiatus, finally visiting a therapist to get our friends off back, and maybe, just maybe, meeting someone new. However, After Love isn't a clear-cut story about moving on and getting the band back together. It's examination of a pretty shitty friend who became so absorbed in his own grief that he forgotten that the war didn't stop while he was away. As Audit and mainly Tessa made clear to you at the first rehearsal, they both had to keep the band going by reposting all content on social media as well as their own lives, working jobs, finding new hobbies, and dealing with other guys Ben's trying to poach them. These scenes where Rama refused to deal with the elephant in the room, thus allowing dysfunction in the band to fester, is where After Love is become a uncompromising beast. Rama is messy and complex and flawed when his own blindness in his friends' own troubles is only exacerbated by the idolized and selfish version of Sinta in his hand cloning his consciousness. Things quickly break down, and you have to watch the band shudder like a jerk, like a car or hasn't seen a garage for so long. Soon Tasa gives you an ultimatum: get the shit together by the end of the month, or the band will split up. From here, After Love takes the form of a social sim akin Tronstad persona with a demon fighting and historical high school drama. Rama has spent his day with one person or activity at his night with another, with each week booked by increasingly fraud band protocols that involve some rhythm minigames as you jam, you choose whatever to take from therapy each week, or if you want to hang out with some of your growing circle of friends. Some of the relationships are clearly helping Rama get his act together, talking to a therapist and having your thought proceed and Centra's best intention challenge it often uncomfortable but necessary, but other relationship might not be so helpful. Spending time with the record store owner and his queer friends might help Rama come back of his shell. But hanging with the adult's recent ex-girlfriend could be playing with the fire. It turns into the more just than hanging out. However, you can also pass just the time reminiscing about your times with Sintra, the real Sintra, and reflect on who you were and where you are now. All these choices will affect you ending, which can from feel good triumph to melancholic acceptance, all which we will see Rama move on in a different way. It's worth highlighting just how well these relationships are designed. Be in dysfunction at the band of falling on fire or in cylinders, the nostalgic reassigning you to do with the fading memory of Sintra, or a durable rising as Santria chides you about your own obviousness to your sexuality, while still firmly being protective as queer community, it's palpably authentic. The music and the vibe, after love, frightening with the best contracts and difficulty certain rival selections, doing a great job of showcasing Rama focus at the time. When the things are going well with the band or he's playing on the long song note highway is noticeable easier when the things are rocky or he's trying to justify new sound for the group. While the animated hand-drawn art style of the game does a great job of giving Afterlove its own visual identity while also allowing the developers to showcase the culture of atmosphere of urban Jakarta. The only negative thing I can bring myself to say about Afterlove is regarding the elements of technical performance. Both PlayStation 5 and PC some suffer from different but persistent issues. The PC version is often glitch out such a way Central voice dialogue gets cut off mid-sentence until you close the application on PS5. The text boxes consistently break after a few minutes of play, resulting in text dialogue scrolling painfully slowly. Neither of these game-breaking bugs, but having to close the game and restart from previous save frequently can really interrupt the pacing. And if anything, these minor glitches are a testament to the game's releasing being something for a minor miracle. Without going too much into the details, After Love creative director tragically passed away in 2022. And thanks to the teams and the fellow traveler that game was seen to release. Thank you so much for watching my video. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Peace.